What's the response that you've got from your fans, you know, from emails, letters? What's the kind of response that you've been getting for
To
this
put it
film?
in one line, Megha is magic. And that feels really, really nice. That feels really nice. I mean, that was as recent as yesterday. I mean, it was so sweet. There was this huge bouquet and I was like, birthday's gone by. I mean, what's this all about? And suddenly there was this huge bouquet and this little note that just said, Megha is magic, which I thought was really beautiful. And it feels really, really nice.
You know, another scene which I loved where surprisingly you were not there, but your presence was there, you know, when he says, Happy Valentine's Day, Megha. You know, and there, you know, Megha was so much alive in spirit. You know, she wasn't there. She does, you know, like she doesn't come in and throw color on his face like Holi, but still you felt her. You know, you still felt her. You know, and it was everything. It was, you know, the way, and you know, what I also felt was that everything that you did in this film as an actress, you know, like even your voice, the way you dubbed the film, it was slightly different. It wasn't a normal Aishwarya Rai voice.
Yes, yes. Because I think we all recognize that these little things is all that we'd have to give it that extra something, because that's what would help create Megha and then keep her alive. Because even though she's a spirit, you really feel her spirit through the film, she was very alive. This was Adi's, these were Adi's words. I mean, he just kept saying, she's very alive. Now at one point, even initially when, I must confess, when Adi narrated, I thought the few moments she'd be there, she'd have to be this live wire. I mean, we almost even discussed it where we said, so is it that every time she's there on screen, she has to be this, you know, overtly alive in body language, in, you know, like say,
in your face kind of
yeah, or be as the daughter, play this daughter, you know, who's always screaming, talking loud, fooling around.
Chulbuli girl.
So there was almost that which we initially discussed. We said, is this who Megha would be? Like very jhalli, the way she dressed and the way she'd be. And so you like really overtly feel her presence. And yet, when we eventually got down to doing it, this is the way Adi saw Megha. And I completely agreed. And I thought it was very interesting for a director to do that, to play her subtle, to play her real, to play the sentiments for what they were. And I must also confess that there was a time when I wondered whether it would make enough of an impact. Sometimes, you know, you sort of think that because you played her so normal, would that strike a chord deep enough, you know? And yet, here, people have come about saying, make her so alive, which I think is thumbs up to Adi.
And you were quite the surprise package in Mohabbatein, because you were kept out of the publicity, out of the TV promos, out of the you know, the posters, the hoardings. There was no mention of Aishwarya Rai. The press ads didn't say, you know, starring Amitabh Bachchan, Shah Rukh Khan, 6 newcomers, but no Aishwarya Rai. And when you came on, like when I saw the film in the theatre, I heard this buzz of you know, how did you react to that? You know, that you were being kept out of the publicity in the beginning.
From the onset, I knew it from the onset. It was agreed to, right from the onset. It was mutually. In fact, we all agreed and wanted it this way. In fact, because that's the only way it would work. I mean, we all recognize this right from the onset. That's what I mean. I mean, I don't work in a conventional manner. I don't work in what are the right moves in this place. I mean, it wasn't that, oh, I'm part of a Yash Raj film and I'm part of Adi Chopra's next. It's not that. I mean, Megha was a lovely character. Mohabbatein sounded like a beautiful film to be a part of. And I recognized completely that it would work for the film, for our characters, if Aishwarya Rai was not used in the publicity. I mean, I thought we all knew that would mean diffusing Megha somewhere. And people might have come to watch an altogether different movie. And then it might have cheated the audience a bit, you know. I mean, they might have come looking for a completely different kind of commercial love story, maybe. And so I think this was well thought of right from the beginning. And the sentiment, I think, only grew far stronger. The conviction grew stronger pre-release of the film. And they, in fact, pre-release itself, they told me that if at all, Megha would be introduced in the publicity, as in Aishwarya would be used in the publicity post the release, if at all, once the audience was acquainted with Megha, and who was meant to appear in the film so much later. So that's really the way they kept it, and I'm glad what they preempted, they've been able to realize. They were able to have the audience believe what they believed in.
You know, and although it's a very typical question, but you know, working with someone like Mr. Bachchan is always a different experience.
Yeah.
You know, because he's a legend. He's Mr. Amitabh Bachchan.
Yeah.
You know, how was it for you? Because this was the first time you were working with him.
And in what better manner? I mean, what better could I ask for?
Yeah.
I think it was beautiful playing this this father-daughter relationship. Was I loved working with him, and I'm honored I got the opportunity to work with him in such a beautiful movie and such a special relationship essay. I mean, it was a very nice experience. I truly treasure it.
You know, in every actor's life, there are certain films that become landmark films in their career. You know, like you've got Hum Dil De Chuke Sanam, Taal, Mohabbatein. You know, but personally, you know, how precious is Mohabbatein to you?
Extremely. I mean, I'm not saying this because I'm here sitting on, you know, talking about Mohabbatein, but all movies and roles are special because you particularly think that each one would be different in its own way. There is, I mean, even Iruva remains special because those characters are so different. Kandu Konden. Then there is Josh, there is Hamdil, there is Tal, there is Mohabbatein. Like I said, there was a certain degree of belief in the character that I played. I'll not get to play someone like Megha again, and the way she is conveyed. It remains special. This kind of a father-daughter relationship, which is so specific in terms of the amount you got to portray and yet so deep. This kind of a love story which is not conveyed in the conventional manner, and yet it's so deep. You don't get to play these characters. And as an artist I still feel so new every day, and who's still growing and discovering, I think it's interesting to get the opportunity to play different characters within the parameters of what's offered.